My Lords, a number of things. It was very interesting that the Noble Baroness, the Minister, concluded in relation to one of these amendments that people's lives can be messy. And it's precisely for that reason that I think that saying that DDOs can only be, will only be issued due to a lack of engagement without any consideration of what or why that lack of engagement might happen, it might well be because people's lives are very messy, to quote the Minister. And so I'm not convinced by that at all. I'm also... Sorry.
Just to reassure the Noble Lady, this effort to engage with a liable person wouldn't just be a one-off hit. There would be over a dozen, is my understanding of the Act. So it's not just a one-time effort to engage with each liable person. But by the time we got to the process of a direct deduction order, there would have been multiple efforts to engage with the liable person.
It's quite feasible that I have missed the multiple efforts in the reading of the bill. Maybe it's there. I mean, it might be another bit that I've missed. But I don't think that's clear. So maybe that could be clarified. I'm sure that that's the intention. The problem is the principle, and this is where I'm going to, because actually we were given the explanation that I thought we'd be given, which is that if we don't avoid the courts and do this directly, then the reason why we're doing this directly and not going for judicial authorisation is because the courts have just got too much work on. And I always worry about an explanation that says that, well, it'll cause too much work for the courts. I mean, on this basis, we might as well just cut out sending anyone to a court, put them into prison. I mean, it's so darned long-winded, that court process, isn't it? For everything. But we don't say that because we think that the court system sets in place safeguards in relation to ensuring that people are not unfairly treated. We don't have a direct situation where a government of the day simply decides that the courts are dispensable with. That's the principle that I was trying to raise here. And so I don't think that is a satisfactory answer. I also was unconvinced by the argument given. Well, if I can just go through it, which is the HMRC has passed the HMRC has already passed to deduct money directly from bank accounts under Schedule 8 of the Finance Act 2015. But actually, there are statutory safeguards, including the requirement that the HMRC retains £5,000 in the debtors' accounts and guidance about who the HMRC should deem as of a particular disadvantage. That is not in this bill. It is part of that bill that was cited as a reassurance to me. I also think that the the comparison with child maintenance is also a false comparison. Child maintenance is money owed by one parent to ensure provision of their dependent who doesn't live with them. And that differs greatly from an individual claiming money from, for example, the social security system, who have been overpaid and, as I keep pointing out, potentially overpaid through no fault of their own. I don't think those two things count as equivalencies at all. I was grateful to the Noble Lady Baroness Finn in terms of the amendment on stop-starting DDOs, and I have some sympathy with her approach. The main problem, in terms of it not being permanently never allowed to start again, the nervousness I had with that is that it feels so arbitrary. The explanation was given, well, there's messy lives, that's fine, but I don't want to be in a situation where I'm nodding through a system that means that people can keep having their direct deduction orders stop and start for the messiness of government. I mean, we're told it's the messiness of people's lives, but it's not clear that that would be the only reason why this would occur. It's not in the bill. And so I will withdraw my amendments, of course, but I will return with some of them, I imagine, at report.
that this amendment be withdrawn. Amendment is by leave withdrawn.